So let's dive in. What is iCapital? What is this 2026 European Capital of Innovation Award? So it's an initiative from the European Commission implemented by EISMEA, so by our executive agency. It rewards cities that use innovation to improve citizens' life and to make a local level culture of innovation. The prize has been launched in 2014. So we celebrated last year the 10 years of the prize. And for this year's edition, we keep the same structure. So we have two categories. So one category for cities with more than 250,000 inhabitants, the European Capital of Innovation category. And we also have a category for smaller cities, the European Rising Innovative City, for cities with between 50,000 and less than 250,000 inhabitants. So the prize will give the winning city money. So it is for the European Capital of Innovation Award, it's €1 million for the winner. And then you can see on the slides the other amount of prizes, but it will give you not only money, it will also bring recognition and visibility, with the possibility to join the EIC Prizes alumni network. So why should your city apply to this prize? So first and foremost, it's a unique opportunity for recognition at a European level. So being named the European Capital of Innovation puts your city on the map as a role model, as a model of city with forward thinking and citizens-driven innovation. Secondly, the award offers powerful visibility. So if you're a big city or a smaller city, this award will help attract startups, talents, and innovators to your city. It's a great way to position your city as a dynamic and future-focused place to live and work. But the award is not only about spotlights, it's also about impact. So all winners and runners-up will join the EIC Prizes Alumni Network. So the Alumni Network is a platform where former winners and runners-up can exchange ideas and co-develop solutions, and also take part in high-level European events. So beyond the financial rewards, the iCapital Award is really a getaway to a long-term recognition and community building within Europe's innovation landscape. So here you can see some of the past winners. Some of them are with us today. So you can see, for example, on the top left corner, so this is a picture of the city of Dortmund that was a winner in 2021. And I think they're with us today. You can also see on the bottom left, this is Leuven, and on the right-hand side, you see Marseille and Nantes. So we'll hear from the past winners of last year in a couple of minutes, and they will be telling you a lot better than I do why they applied and what it meant for them to apply and to win this award. So who can apply? Who can be the next European Capital of Innovation? So the first eligibility condition seems obvious. It needs to be a city located in an EU member state or associated country to Horizon, but it's a very important criteria. So it is really the city that has to apply, and not an innovation agency that is linked to the city or contracted by the city. The applicant really has to be the city. Then you need to pay attention to population threshold, obviously, to apply in the right category. And finally, past winners and runners-up from last year only are not eligible to apply. So in addition to these eligibility conditions, there are admissibility conditions and exclusion criteria. So admissibility conditions are the criteria that you need to fulfill to submit your application. So you need to apply by the deadline. So that's an obvious criteria, but it's a very important one as well. And please do not wait until the last minute, because we see in previous year's application, there's a peak on the last day. And if there's a glitch with the IT system, then you would not be able to submit your submission. Then you need to upload in the system your submission. So it has to be maximum 30 pages. So it is a strict limit. If you upload more than 30 pages, the jury members will not be able to see the extra pages. So you really need to stick to this 30 pages criteria. And you need as well to submit the Myers endorsement. Exclusion criteria are criteria that are necessary to fulfill for any EU funding, actually. So it means that the city should not have been convicted of fraud, corruption, or it does not have any link to criminal organization. So if you fulfill this eligibility and admissibility criteria, it means that you're able to apply for this award. And I will now guide you through the award criteria. So the award criteria are the criteria the jury member will evaluate from your proposal. So there are 6 criteria. The first one is experimenting. So this relates to the fact that your city acts as a test bed for a number of innovative practices. So it refers to, I don't know, any innovative concepts, process, tools, or governance model that are proving the city's commitment to be a living lab. It's important to provide details and concrete results of the showcased initiative. So it's not only about saying we have done that, that, and that, but also about showing the impact of what has been put in place. The second criteria is escalating or scaling. So it refers to the policies that the city has put in place to help the innovative ecosystem of the city to grow. So it really has to be about what the city has put in place. So not only saying, okay, we had 5 startups 10 years ago and now we have 200, but it's really about saying what the city has done to help these startups growing. The third award criteria is about ecosystem building. So it is about what the city is doing to facilitate synergies among the innovation ecosystem stakeholders and how the city is promoting these synergies. The fourth award criteria is about expanding. So expanding, it means how the city is acting as a role model for other cities. So it's about expanding the city's experience in being an innovation actor. So how the city has teamed up with other cities to replicate or to share knowledge with other cities. The fifth award criteria is about city innovative vision. So it's about more or less everything that has been described before, but how is it put into a long-term strategic vision or a long-term strategic plan? And finally, the last award criteria is about citizens' rights. So citizens' rights, it's about how the city is using innovation to strengthen democracy and to strengthen the rights of citizens with a special focus on minorities within the city. So this is about how your proposal will be evaluated. So first, we in the agency will check the admissibility, eligibility, and the exclusion criteria. Then there is a pre-selection only if there are more than 60 applications. So far, that has not happened. So we go directly to the expert evaluation. And so how is the expert evaluation taking place? So all the experts receive the application. They assess the application against the award criteria. So it's really important to, in your application, to keep the structure with the different awards criteria points. And they score your applications, and the 6 best go to a hearing. And in the hearing, you have the opportunity to meet with the jury members and to explain your proposal a bit more in detail. And the evaluators, the jury members, they have the opportunity to ask you questions. But you will hear more about that later on with our former jury member explaining you what the jury members like or don't like when evaluating your proposal. So now this is more the technical part. So how to submit your application. So you first need to create a participant identification code. Once you have that, you can go on the funding and tender portal and download the so-called Part B. It's actually a Word document with the 6 award criteria explained a bit more in detail, and then you fill it, the Part B, on the Word document, and then you need to re-upload it in the system, in the funding and tender portal, together with the Part A, that is the administrative details of your city, and the mayor endorsement. So then you submit, obviously, before the deadline. Here, I would like to mention really that when you first create your PIC, your participant identification code, you really need to create it on behalf of the city and not any agency linked to the city. This is an award for cities, and so it's really important to have the PIC corresponding to the city. And now the timetable for this year's award. So the award is already, the call is already published, so it is already open, and you need to submit your proposal before 18th of June at 5 p.m. Brussels time. So please respect the deadline. There is no derogation possible. Then the remote evaluation will take place during the summer, and the hearings will take place in September and or October this year, with an award ceremony that will take place in Turin. So the winner of last year European Capital of Innovation Awards, it will be most likely the beginning of December. So here's what I wanted to say. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your interest in the European Capital of Innovation Awards. I hope this little presentation has helped clarify the application process, and maybe also inspired you to reflect on how your city is driving innovation forward. If you have any doubts or questions, please visit our website. So you can see the link here on the screen. You can scan the QR code, and you can also contact us. So you will see on our web page there is also an email address. It will be me and or my colleagues behind this email address. Do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. If you have more general questions about EU funding, you can also contact the Research Inquiry Service. But if you have questions now, please introduce them in the Slido. So either by joining Slido on slido.com with the hashtag iCapital 2025 or by scanning the QR code. And we will be answering your questions. So this is really your chance to have your first doubts clarified. Please do not hesitate to contact us now. So my presentation is now over, and it's time to hear from Elena that has walked this path before. So Elena D'Ambrogio is the head of the Smart City and European Project Office of the city of Torino. And she's the one who led the winning application of Torino last year. And she will share with you her iCapital journey and what the award has done to the city of Torino. Elena, over to you.
Hi, thank you very much, Elodie. It's a pleasure to be here today and to present the path towards being proudly the winner of the European Capital of Innovation Award 2024-2025. Next slide, please. I will showcase, next, please, the path to join the path towards being the capital, and I will use the presentation. Some parts of the presentation I use for the jury. So as you see, we have presented the main key data about the city, presenting Torino as it is the fourth largest city in Italy, with a growing number of students in Habitat. Torino is a university and research hub with top-ranked university and research centers, and also some relevant business schools and research foundation, which lead Torino to be identified as one of the top 35 global ecosystem for recruiting tech talent in 2024. And also has been one among the best 100 global raising startup ecosystem, as reported by the G7 report 2024. We also, of course, showcase how Torino is a livable and affordable city, also renowned for quality of life, natural beauties, cultural offer, and also a good place to live for its good options in terms of housing. So a place not only where to do
Yes, Elena, I think we have lost you.
strong philanthropy, and it will pilot in 2025 the first social stock exchange in Italy and in Europe, we think. Next slide, please. We try to let understand how our ecosystem has grown over the years through open governance, and this was made possible through two main stakeholder platform initiatives promoted by the city, gathering efforts and animating the territory around its pressing challenges like mobility, housing, climate change, welfare, youth, and talent retention. These two platforms are named the Torino City Lab, which animates, let's say, the startup and the technology-oriented ecosystem with its house of emerging technologies called the City Next, and Torino Social Impact, which is animating the social economy ecosystem with its National Competence Center hosted in Torino in open interest. Next, please. We also showcase that our path started in 2016, where we had already the possibility to be positioned at the second place of the awards of the European Capital Awards. We called that period the dawn of open and social innovation because we started to gather efforts and energy from the ecosystem around urban challenges. And then we had a period where we really supported and boosted the private sector and promoted our cities as a platform approach to the essence of these open innovation platforms. Then in 2021 till 2024, we had this consolidation and impact period with also the creation of two new public owned and public managed hub. And then a lot is to be by 2025 with also the upcoming AI for Industry National Foundation for Artificial Intelligence applied to industry and the new social stock exchange. And the big objectives of becoming climate neutral by 2030 as a perspective. Next, please. All in all, our growing ecosystem and open governance is based on engaging more than 340 multi-stakeholder actors through a light and agile governance and widespread open innovation processes. Next, please. We have, I have let you know that we have a lot of growing public and private hubs, innovation hubs spread in Torino. The biggest one is OGR Torino, which is recognized as the biggest innovation hub in Southern Europe with more than 16 international acceleration programs cooperating with the city and more than 200 startups accelerated in 3 years and a wide overall ecosystem. Next, please. What we offer to this very energizing ecosystem as a city, we have developed a technology infrastructure widespread in the city, which we offer for free to startups and research actors to co-develop with us innovative urban solutions. We have equipped specific stress test facilities and labs with a focus to specific technologies like SICAM technologies or advanced urban mobilities. We have developed the specific competence centers in different areas to offer monitoring, measuring, animating services and also consultancy technology development services, as well as training and expanding. We also work a lot on innovative administrative toolboxes, from testing contracts to the activation of regulatory sandboxes and the strategic use of public procurement. But more than this, we try to act as a unique entry point for startups, SMEs, and research to speak not only with the city, but also with utilities partners and also to offer info on open data and processes. Next, please. Here are two examples of the two main testing contexts. One is the Turing House of Emerging Technologies. You see some number. And the other one, next please, is the new Lily Lab about SICAM technologies. Next, please. Thank you. Where we are piloting innovative SICAM services in real conditions with real communities and taking into account their vision for the overall design of future mobility services. Next, please. In terms of the social innovation ecosystem, you see here some example in terms of acceleration, skills, and financing. And as already mentioned, the Italian Competence Center for Social Innovation. Next, please. We also worked a lot on enabling regulatory co-design framework to scale urban innovation, working on the public procurement for social inclusion and co-design, the strategic use of common goods regulation for the third sector code to generate widespread innovation. Now 70 pacts of collaboration are ongoing, and also we underline the transition from a competitive approach to a collaborative approach in the co-design of social policies, with more than 50% of public spending co-design with the third sector. Next, please. Citizen rights and ethics by design are very important for Torino, not only plans, but we have now governance and assessment tools to assure ethics by design in urban innovation. We have piloted the first Italian word on the ethical use of emerging technologies to assist the city in responsibly deliver urban testing. And we use to involve disadvantaged and elderly people even in the most advanced innovation projects by design. Next, please. Expanding and cooperation is really important for Torino. We do this through European projects, events, and also strategic partnership with the national and international organization, and also city-to-city cooperation. Here again, some numbers. Next, please. Future perspective, we will use the title and the energy gathered at local level to work for the climate neutrality in Torino, and also to deliver strategically emerging technology like AI for this scope, and also to use this as an attraction tool for talents from Turin, Italy, and abroad. Next, please. So here, very briefly, some quick tips for participation from our experience. Here you will find some advice also gathered from the evaluation of our same application. So what we advise is to provide a genuine storytelling about your city innovation path. We advise to be original and find your key, your path. To support any statement through key data and quantitative results, to engage local partners and report their view through their own words, and also to showcase citizen engagement and inclusion and co-creation experiences, especially with the vulnerable and underrepresented groups, again, possibly with real facts, real words, and real case examples. Next, please. Here are really examples from our proposal. So we try to represent within the proposal multiple voices for showcasing this participated vision. Next, please. So again, we are asked to connect the dots between vision, implementation, and measurable impact, and to deliver a strategic coherence within the overall proposal. So what you can do to be prepared to fly, to invest in a narrative architecture team. So it is very important to include also different perspectives, young, international, outsider. So people who can help you, who are doing the work day by day to translate fragmented innovation activities into a compelling data-backed story of transformation. Again, even seen from outside. Then define impact metrics early and track them, and it will be useful also for the next steps. And then mention international collaboration as seen as both a learning platform but also credibility boosters. And then my wish for you all is really to enjoy the journey all along its step. Be really sure that it will be a transformative experience which will expose your activities to unforeseen opportunities, and it will be all along a continuous learning experience. Next, please. So this is our new claim, make your impact in Torino. Next, please. But the idea is not to stay back in Torino, but to open and continue the European dialogue with European cities. That's why we launched, for instance, this initiative, which is called the Cities Innovate, where we invite cities to exchange on urban innovation policies in different areas, and also to offer a real plaza for continuous exchange all along the year. You will find the registration link here, and you are really we would be very happy to meet there. I think it could be a good, also a good opportunity for you to gather insights from other European cities while drafting your proposal. Next, please. So that's all from our side. I really thank you for the opportunity of being here, and we will be happy to exchange and also to present how we will try to best use the prize for our territory and also for continuous exchange at the European level. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elena. I'm now pleased to pass the floor to Nuno Gouveia from the city of Braga, our European Rising Innovative City from 2024-2025. and Nuno will share Braga's experience and takeaways from their innovation journey. Nuno, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Elodie, and good morning to you all. Of course, for me, it's a pleasure to be here. And of course, it is also a way to celebrate our recognition as the actual European Rising Innovative City. Next slide, please. So, in the first part, I will present our city to wherever you don't know the city. So, let's start with the Braga unique position. Braga is the third largest city in Portugal after Lisbon and Porto, and is located in in the region of Minho. We are less 1 hour than 1 hour from Porto and Vigo in Spain. And of course, this prime location fosters connectivity, making Braga a gateway for business, talent, and innovation between Portugal and Galicia, Spain. Next slide, please. So some numbers from Braga. Braga is a very diverse and dynamic city. We have just a population just over 200,000 inhabitants, and we are the youngest city in Portugal. We also are a multicultural city. Nowadays, we have more than 140 nationalities. We are a very old city with 2 millennia of history, but at the same time, we are a very modern and dynamic city. Uh, Braga is the birthplace nowadays of some global successful startups and hosts prestigious institutions like the University of Minho, one of the most famous and important universities in the country. And we also host the Nanotechnology Iberian Laboratory, that is a leading research center that is owned by the Portuguese and the Spanish government. And of course, this unique combination of youth, diversity, and cutting edge innovation are very important for our success. Next slide, please. So our main economic sectors of the city. Braga economic is very diverse and robust, and we have some key sectors that are the most important ones for our strengths. In these key sectors, we include technology, nanotechnology, health and med tech, manufacturing, commerce, and service center. And of course, the biggest and the most important one, that is the automotive components industry. One of the key sectors that is not here, but it's very important for the city, is tourism, as Braga is nowadays one of the most important tourist destinations in the country. And next slide, please. This is an important fact for our city, because this is one of the proudest achievements in our economic in the last years. Because in just 10 years, we have more than doubled our exportations, now accounting for over 2.4% of Portugal total exports. And for you to have the idea, before we were not even in the top 10 of the country. Now Braga is the third largest municipality in exports. And of course, this growth reflects the strengths of our business, from startups and established companies, and also the ability to compete on the global stage. This is also a testament of our entrepreneurial spirit and strategic investments in innovation made mainly, of course, by our private sector. Next slide, please. Now, I would like to talk mainly about our application and how the city of Braga made to achieve this title last year. Uh, of course, this award is very important for the city, because it was a recognition that the strategy that we started 10 years ago was well done. And I would say that Braga's success is grounded mainly in a clear and inclusive strategy. We operate as a living lab, testing innovative public policies in real-world settings. Our unique governance model includes 13 municipal councils covering different areas like culture, migration, sustainability, youth, and these municipal councils ensuring that all the diverse voices that we have in the city help the municipality to shape our policies. We also developed two most important strategic action plans. That was our culture strategy for 2020-2030, and the economic development plan made for 2014-2026, that were central in the development of our innovation strategy. And above all, of course, we foster cultural co-creation, collaboration with more than 80 entities from the city, from universities to business and cultural institutions. And I would say this collaborative approach was the real backbone of our innovation ecosystem. Next slide, please. Uh, so, innovation in Braga is action oriented. And I will leave you with three simple examples that were explored in our application. And I think they were very important for our success. In economic development, I would highlight Startup Braga, that is our flagship hub that offers mentorship, incubation, and acceleration programs, several acceleration programs in these last years. I can highlight the Sciencepreneurs or high-tech tourism that were oriented acceleration programs for different sectors. In culture, that is very important in our city. We have, of course, different initiatives like the Teatro Circo music programs, the Index Art and Technology Biennial that showcase our creative vibrancy. And for sustainable development, I would highlight the Human Power Hub that drives social innovation in our region, not only in the city, but in the region. And they develop different programs like the Tech for Good or the Social Innovation Festival, that is a very important moment in the city. And these kind of initiatives that we showcase in our application demonstrates how Braga experiments with new ideas and scales them for having real impact in the city and in the region. And next slide, please. And of course, building an ecosystem requires connections and resources. And in our application, we showcase a lot of examples like organizing major events like the Economic Week of Braga or the Unique Summit to foster networking. I highlighted, of course, our municipal incubators, that is a Startup Braga and Human Power Hub, that they provide business and NGOs, in the case of Human Power Hub, with mentorship and access to mentors and venture capitalists, in the case of Startup Braga, of course, helping them to raise millions of euros and foster their ideas. And we also created in the city an investment incentive scheme to attract new companies to the city. And this in the last years, we supported investment for 24 companies and created over 1,500 jobs. Of course, and these efforts ensures that Braga ecosystem is both dynamic but also sustainable. Next slide, please. Oh, yes. And so to expand the innovation ecosystem, we also highlight some projects and some networks that will participate, because Braga innovation extends beyond our borders. And it was very important to demonstrate that in our application. For instance, we highlighted that we are founding members of networks like the Global Startup Cities, that is a European network of 10 cities that work mainly in innovation. And we highlighted also that we are members of UNESCO Creative Cities in the field of media arts. And that was not an application. Last year we hosted the annual conference of UNESCO Creative Cities, and we gathered here more than 200 cities. It was a very important moment for the city. But we tried to highlight how these national and international events are important for our to expand our innovation ecosystem. We also highlighted several European projects that we participate here in the city, like for instance, the European Commission's Intelligent City Challenge, several Euroback networks that we participate, and actually we are now leading one about the net economy. Or we are also members of Net Zero Cities Twinning Program with Uppsala in Sweden. And we highlighted several other international cooperation partnerships that, of course, are very important to amplify our impact and help to position Braga as a global leader in urban innovation. Next slide, please. In the application, we also highlighted some key challenges that the city is facing now, and we presented solutions that we are doing or we are working on it. For instance, three key challenges that we are facing and some solutions. First, for instance, to promote economic growth, we are creating now a University Talent Center to connect students with companies. For instance, to address demographic transition and attract new talent for the city, we are now launching a migrant talent center, and we are promoting several projects, for instance, like this Bem Comum, that is a program to engage youth and in democracy. And for instance, to tackle climate change, we are renewing our transport fleet. Nowadays, more than 70% is already electric, and we are promoting some projects like the Cification project. This is to promote the use of bikes in the city, and in Portugal it's not easy, so we are working hard to have more people using bikes. And we are developing, I think, a sustainable public transport system that is about rapid transit, that we are starting now this construction. And of course, these initiatives are important to assure that Braga remains very competitive and also innovative regarding these main challenges. And Elodie, I think I am missing a slide. It was about the results. I think it was before this one. Thank you. Okay, and one of the things that is important in the application, like Elodie mentioned in her presentation, is of course it's very important to present some concrete results and some achievements that the city has done. And in this slide, I explained some of the economic numbers that were in the result of our strategy. For instance, Braga supports more than 250 startups, incubated 155 startups, and ran 55 acceleration programs in these last years. Our startups raised 438 million in capital, and all of these achievements, of course, is including the creation of 2 Portugals of the 7 unicorns that we have, like for instance World Health, and of course creating these successful companies and startups demonstrated also the Braga ability to deliver tangible economic and social impact in the city. Just to finish, I would like to tell our colleagues that this was not the first time that we applied for the prize. So I also think that it's important to learn from our mistakes. And I think one of the reasons for our success was that when we first applied, we made some mistakes. And in this second run, we correct them. And of course, we had more results to present. That was also very important because sometimes when we apply, maybe we are not yet there to present some very good results. And I think was what one of the things that happened with us, it was that when we first applied in 2021, our results and our achievements were not so great as it were last year. And thank you for the opportunity to be here. And of course, I'm available to help you in some questions here or in the next days.
Thank you, Nuno. Thank you very much for the insights. I will now give the floor to Milu Jansen, that will share some hands-on tips to help your city prepare a strong and compelling application. Just a quick reminder. So if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the Slido, so using the hashtag iCapital 2025, and we will answer the questions after Milu's intervention during the Q&A session. Milu, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. During the next 7 to 10 minutes, I will share some insights and tips, do's and don'ts that I would like to share with cities applying this year. So last year I was a jury member in the category of the Rising Innovation Capital, and we reviewed, I think from the top of my head, 18 applications. So for this presentation, I prepared for you some points that, upon reflection, were some takeaways of the process last year. So I think to start, I would advise cities applying this year to be strategic and holistic, and take the time to really describe your journey. So it's not a coincidence that you have the achievements that you have today. There's probably a huge journey behind that, a strategy that you set up with many colleagues over the years. So how did you start 10 years ago, even perhaps, and how did that evolve? Like what kind of mechanisms, strategies, policies, initiatives did you undertake? How did you get to this point here to now be ready to apply for the iCapital awards? So outline how you manage and organize a change, and how you went from experimenting to also long-term impact, and yeah, really underscoring that this didn't happen by accident, but you really worked towards this moment strategically and with a vision for your city and for your communities. Because sometimes it's implicit for you, or it makes sense for you and your colleagues that you have a vision on where you're coming from and where you're going. But I think it's good to also make this explicit in your application. Then it's also important to note the role of the municipality in the achievements and the results that came about in your city. So what kind of structural support did the municipality give to different actors in the city? How were innovators and startups really also given the space to blossom? And how is a city really a good collaborative partner in the broader ecosystem? Because maybe there's a very successful business park in the city, or there is a big a tech player or a big company working on innovation in your city, but are you then lucky that this business park settled here in your city, or did the municipality really put in the effort to be a space where innovation can thrive? So also emphasize what specifically the municipality adds to the ecosystem, and not just mention all the other good players that have taken ground in your city. Then also stressing the added value for all communities in your city. So not only for from the business side or from the academic side, but also the role of communities themselves. How are their ideas taken into account when it comes to innovation and initiatives in your city? How are communities involved? How are they given a voice? And how does innovation really improve different aspects of people's lives in your city and in your communities? And then finally, I think what also was very powerful in the most successful applications was to have an authentic vision on what innovation means for your city. What specific challenges does your city have, and how can innovation address those challenges? How do you see, how do you define innovation as the city that you are? So it shouldn't be an innovation vision that you can copy from another city, because that city is different from your city, for example. So some of the do's that really contribute to a strong application. I think if I think about the ones that were most successful, then some of the don'ts. It was also mentioned in Nuno's presentation to also be clear about some concrete achievements that were made. So I would recommend to avoid making bold claims without evidence. So sometimes, people are also, or cities were very proud or very eager to showcase their success, but there were not really a lot of examples that supported the claim, or lack of data or anecdotes. So I think it's important to give examples when you make statements every now and then. Then it's also important to note that innovation is not only connected to technology or to digitalization or to smart city initiatives or sensors or technology like this. As we know, it's a mix of social factors, can be community-based innovation, collaboration is a big part of innovation. It can address challenges related to climate, housing, inclusion. It's really a bit broader in a way that it's also about daring to do things differently. So I would also recommend to keep a bit of a broader scope in mind when you look at innovation in your city and how to describe it during the application, that you not only focus on technology and how it drives progress in your city, but look at it a bit broader. Then there were also applications that focused on just a few criteria. So you could see that maybe 3 or 4 out of 6 criteria were very strongly answered the questions and criteria there. But then for the 5th and 6th criteria were a bit less strong. So as jury members, we really have to score all criteria. So every jury member goes across all the 6 criteria and scores them. So if, for example, if you leave one criteria blank, then you'll receive a 0 for that specific criteria, because we cannot score it, but it does count for the overall outcome. So just to make that clear. And jury members also come from diverse backgrounds. So I think that's also very valuable across the criteria, that you really can share different perspectives and just make sure that you're strong in each of the criteria and don't underestimate, for example, the criteria on citizens' rights and innovation linked to democracy. It's also counting well for the score, and it's also important as part of the innovation strategy. And then finally, a tip I would have is to focus on the power of storytelling and really connecting the dots throughout the criteria, and make it flow, be creative where you can, maybe add visuals, but really think about also the receiving side of the application, so to speak. So of course one part is writing the application and also understanding perhaps your own journey as a city better, but then I think it also helps when you see that all the criteria are strategically bound together and there's a certain narrative behind it. So I think in that sense it also helps when you don't start too late with the application, because it gives you a bit more time to also look at the flow of the entire application. Then there's a quick next slide, and that is then my intervention is also ending for this morning. I also wanted to say that once you have made it to the second round, so that's the interviewing part, also enjoy it. Like take your moment to shine with your team, and you can be very proud that you already made it to the second round, because the competition can be quite fierce, and it's already a huge achievement, I would say, to make it to that round. So also celebrate making it to there and enjoy this part of the process as well. Elodie, this was it for me, I would say. Happy to answer any more questions, and thank you for your time, and good luck also.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your very great tips. So now we will move on to Slido. So here is a reminder of the QR code. If you want to ask questions to any of the speakers, so I will moderate this question and answer session. So can you please describe further the difference between escalating and ecosystem building criteria? So I will give a brief answer, and then I will give the floor to Milou, if it's fine. to explain a bit the difference. So from the rules of contest, you can see that the escalating criteria refers really to the environment that the city has put in place for innovation actors to flourish, while the criteria on ecosystem building relates more to helping the ecosystem, the interaction between these actors. But Milou, please, if you have further insights.
What I could perhaps add is that escalating would relate a bit more to the processes that are put in place, the requirements that need to be in place, that a city can provide for a city to attract different innovative actors to come to the city. So to make sure that, for example, procurement policies are a bit more innovatively designed. So it's more about the structures that are in place, I would say, so a bit more rigid. And then the ecosystem would be focused more on the human-to-human side, collaborating, making sure there are moments to connect, to network, that there are spaces to connect, to make sure that every stakeholder can take its place in the collaborative ecosystem. So that's more about the personal side or the network side, to make sure that that's also well provided.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we move on to the next question. So there are actually a few more questions related to that part of the template, the section 3 other. So there's indeed a subsection on ethics and security. So this section is not mandatory to fill in. It is part of the template in case some of the innovation projects that the city is leading have ethics and or security issues, but it's absolutely not mandatory to fill in. And to be honest, in most cases, this section is empty. The next question is, will we receive the PowerPoint afterwards? So yes, you will receive the PowerPoints, all of the presentations. You will also receive the link to the recording of this session. So you will receive that by email, and it will also be available on our website. Then next question is, does each jury member rank all the different criteria, or are there separate jury members for each criteria? So they rank all the criteria, all the jury members rank all the application within one category, and they rank all the criteria. But Milou, maybe you have something to add here?
No, I think the answer is straightforward, that the answer is yes. For the rising innovative capital, we were with 6 jury members, and we ranked all the criteria.
Thank you. So the next question is again about security. So I think I've answered that one already. And the next one as well. So yes, it is within the 30 pages, but you can just leave it blank. So how long do you need in average for the application in weeks, and how many people have been working on it? So this is a question for Elena and Nuno. Elena, please.
Yes, so we have worked for all along the period of the call for proposal. The maximum, the last 2 weeks is the more effort, and we worked 2.5 people directly on the drafting with the several meetings with the local stakeholders, and not done which were already in place. So we do not create it further engaging communities, but we used already existing ones.
Thank you.
Well, I think we worked when you launch. We started to work when you launched the call, so 2 months, and we made an informal task force in the municipality with me coordinating, but we had also people from the different municipal companies that work in the strategy. And in the way, I would say, also this task force we were six people. And then, of course, we consulted with several people that work with us in these different dimensions that we showcased in our application.
Thank you. Yes, indeed, from the feedback we have received, it is that very often it requires a lot of coordination amongst different departments and even sometimes external agencies within the cities. So the next question is, can you give some insights on how the winning cities have spent their 1 million euro? So this question is for Elena, but first I would like to highlight that it is actually, it is not a grant, so it is an award. So there is no obligation to spend the money and to explain to the agency or to the European Commission how you have spent the money. So we still obviously keep in touch with former winners, and we try to guide and help when needed. But this is an award, a recognition prize. So it's the 1 million euro is for what has already happened and not for what will be done in the future. But Elena, please, if you can give some
Yes, yes,
example.
we are still in the process to use the prize, of course, but we have planned how to use it. First of all, a communication campaign engaging also citizens, not only the ecosystem actors. So the visual identity you have seen before is already part of it. And then a talent attraction program, which we will put in place in the coming months, consisting into a digital tool for informing how to come and make impact in Torino, some sort of ecosystem guide, together with specific attraction services like housing for talents and ecosystemic services for talents from Italy and abroad to come in Torino and make their impact. This will be launched by the summer. Then we have identified two further pillars. One is to give back a transformative action for the citizens in terms of smart mobility. And the other one is about internal innovation, putting in place the digitization of internal processes to develop the Turing digital, to support the development of Turing digital twin. And of course, a lot of communication, including the Cities to Innovate webinars and attraction of delegations and the communication and events.
Thank you. Nuno, maybe you could as well give us examples on how you've spent half of the prize won by Torino.
The mayor is still, we didn't announce it yet, but we are in the process of building a new health and medtech center that will be connected with Startup Braga and Invest Braga, and the prize money will be applied mainly on this new innovation center for the city, because it's important to present to our citizens that, of course, like you mentioned, this is not a grant, it's a prize, but will be invested in the ecosystem innovation of the city. So as we are now doing this new center, the money will be invested in this new center.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I guess another question for you. I will start with you, Nuno. So what were the biggest challenges you faced during the application process?
We faced several. One of them was the part that I highlighted before, that is to show concrete results, and in some dimensions that were easy. For instance, when we were talking about Startup Prague or Invest Prague or the economic numbers that are easier because that are concrete. In other cases, for instance, in our cultural strategy, and we did a lot, and we put a lot of efforts in showcasing how our innovation ecosystem in the part of culture and media arts. That was not so easy, but it's important always to address the numbers and to give facts that are that speak from themselves. So that's one of the biggest difficulties, because we have to look for, and sometimes it's easier, uh, others are not so easy. So we have to demonstrate how we achieve the success in those fields.
Thank you. Elena, please.
Yes, I agree with Nuno, and I add the difficulty to put together a lot of activities into 30 pages, and describing them, really aligning it to the overall vision. So linking the initiatives, which sometimes can be seen as fragmented, to a unique and original vision. For us, it was very important, as I said before, to include people from outside. We included a young collaborator, which was just come to Torino to work, and also an international trainship was working with us on the application, so to have an external point of view on the draft proposal.
Thank you. Thank you, Elena. The next question is again for you. So I will start with Nuno. So has the award helped you attracting new partnerships?
Yes, and of course, this is a great publicity for the city, because, for instance, Mayor Rio was contact for all different cities for all around the Europe. Of course, it's very important because it's, how can I say, a stamp to the city, and so it's easier now when we speak with other cities. And of course, we are also contacted by several cities that wants to get to know better our ecosystem, our strategy of innovation, and of course, this is a great brand, as we all know, European Union, and this award is very prestigious for the city. So for sure.
Yeah.
And I would also tell one more thing, that is not only in Europe, because for instance I've been in the Middle East a few months ago, precisely to showcase our ecosystem of innovation, and the invitation was because they saw that Braga had this award, and so they wanted to know more about us. So I would say it's very important for the city to have this kind of title.
Thank you. Elena, please.
Yes, for sure. A lot of things are going on. International networks, even international foundations and international institutions are partnering with us, also for the future on how to use the prize on talent attraction, for instance. A lot of increased proposal to work on European projects, for instance. And as Nuno was saying, also not only European partnership, ex-EU, and also national and local. So also proposals from economic actors, VCs, and so on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The next question is, we have a big, the question is, I know, does the application need to be organized in the different award criteria? So yes, it has to be organized in the different criteria, but if you go on the funding and tender portal, you will see the part B that you have to download to fill in, and it is already divided by award criteria. I would really strongly recommend to keep that structure, because it really helps the jury member to evaluate your proposal, because they have to score each and every criteria. So keeping that structure is really strongly recommended. But Milu, maybe you have something to add on that.
Just to echo and reinforce what you have said, we also get quite strict guidelines as jury members on how to review the applications, and we cannot score one criteria in another criteria. So yeah, best to keep it well aligned. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. So now we have a PIC code from earlier Horizon and Interact projects. So yes, it is the same PIC code. It's the same for every EU funding project, but you have to check that it corresponds to the city. So the PIC has to correspond to the city and not to an innovation agency or some other agency that is linked to the city. Because for some other Horizon or Interact projects, the requirements are not the same. So you have to check that. But if the PIC corresponds to the city, then no problem to use the same. Then you don't have to enter all the data again. So. So when will the next award be? So it will be awarded in 2025, but the title is the European Innovation Capital for 2026, but it will be awarded in December 2025. And the most important deadline here is the application deadline is the 18th of June 2025. So regarding the example of Braga supporting 250 startups, were they supported, or can you also count the support from entrepreneurship centers? So, and this question is for Nuno, please.
The support, okay. No, these 250 startups were supported by our ecosystem. We have some that are incubated, so they are inside our facility, and other ones that are members of the network, but they are not incubated in our facility. But they also use our support. They have our mentors, and they are in our ecosystem. I think that was the question. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And if it relates to how to present number in the application, so it's important to say, okay, but I got supported 250 startups, but to say how, I mean, what was the role of the city in there? So the next question is, does each application receive feedback from the jury also if not selected as the top 3? So yes, the jury members have to score, but also to give comments on each award criteria for each application that is eligible. You will receive feedback, so a bit late in the process, because you will receive feedback after the award ceremony, but each application receives feedback after the award ceremony. And this feedback includes the remarks from the jury. Milo, I don't know if you want to add something.
Maybe to explain that each of the jury members individually writes down feedback for each of the criteria. And then there's also a rapporteur that summarizes that feedback very clearly. So I think even the process from the jury member side to provide good feedback to applicants, it's very tight. Yeah.
Thank you. So the next question is, if a city had won the award some years ago, do they have the right to participate again? So if you were a winner, you cannot participate again. So Torino and Braga have not the right to participate again. If you were runners-up, so it means if you were second or third in previous years, you can participate again. Only the runners-up from last year, so from the last edition, cannot participate again. So the next question is, so is the 1 million prize free to spend on anything, or is it linked to certain conditions? So I think I have already answered that question. So there is no formal requirement, but we do keep in touch and follow the actions that are put in place by the cities, but there is no formal requirement. Then you mentioned only the city can apply. Can innovation districts in which the city or partner member apply? So no. So it has to be a local administrative unit. So I always mention city, but it can also be a community of cities, as long as it's considered as a local administrative unit and that it has an elected representative. So innovation districts or innovation agencies supporting cities cannot apply. And to support your application, so whether a city or a group of cities, it has to be supported by the highest level of elected representative, so the mayor for the city, and something that is like the mayor for a community of cities or or agglomerations. I don't know. How can the city use the award to be received if successful? So I think it's also, we have answered that question already. So which format is the application template? So the application template, you need to download it from the funding and tender portal. So you will see it's the part B, and you download it, you fill it in a Word document. So this is the 30-page limit, and then you upload it in the system. It is a Word. I mean, you can find it on the funding and tender portal. It's quite straightforward. It's really a Word document with the 6 award criteria, and you need to fill in, like, for each award criteria what your city is doing. The next question is, do I understand well that we have to fill in the 6 criteria in the portal plus provide? So no, it's the same actually. So if you go in the portal, you will see you can enter data only for the part A. So it's basically administrative data of your application. Then you download the part B. You fill in the 6 criteria in this Word document. This has to stay within the 30-page limit, and then you re-upload it in the portal. But there is nothing to fill in directly in the portal for the award criteria. Then, so is it possible to apply even if the city has less than 50,000 inhabitants? It depends. In theory, no. So I don't know where this question is coming from, but so no, it's not possible. If you have less than, I know, if you have less than 50,000 inhabitants, it's not possible. It is possible to apply in the main category if you have less than 250,000 inhabitants, if you are the biggest city of your country, but still you need to have more than 50,000 inhabitants. And for that, we take Eurostat data. So the next question is, who do you advise to bring to the jury if the candidature is selected? Elected representatives, technicians, companies, incubators. So for that question, I will ask all of our 3 panelists because, yeah, Milou had the experience of seeing different scenarios, and then I will ask Elena and Nuno to give their own experience. So Milou, please.
Yeah, I would definitely say a mix of representatives from both the city and the collaborative ecosystem. I think really people that were important in achieving the results that you may have received. That yeah, it should be people that are internally motivated to be there, that share the success of your application, that are proud of what you've done so far, because that really transpires also in the energy that you see in the room and on the screen. That it's more, from my perspective, it would be more important to have the people there from the ecosystem that contributed to your journey than to only have the highest representative there. It can be that the highest representative is very supportive of your application, and then that you can really see that as a jury, if people have the motivation to support you, I would say.
Yeah, thank you. So the only, from my side, the only formal requirement for the hearing is to have 4 people that are able to speak and 4 people that are able to answer questions. So it's in total maximum 8 people in the room, with 4 giving the presentation and 4 supporting in case of questions. So this is the only formal requirement. Then it's really up to each city to organize itself in different ways. So I will give the floor to Elena to let her explain how they did it. Elena, please.
Yes, first of all, we used all the possibilities. So we bring all 8 people in the room. So for the presentation, it was me and a colleague, one more in charge of the, let's say, technology innovation, and the other into the social innovation ecosystem. And we were the 2 able to present. Then we engaged the rector of Turin Polytechnic and the president of a philanthropic foundation to showcase again the commitment, and they were able to answer with us to the questions. Then the other 4 were representatives of the ecosystem, so incubators, associations, and so on. No elected representatives were involved during the hearings, all technical people.
Thank you. And it's a perfect transition because it was different for Braga.
Yes, we tried also to have the presentation different parts represented, and I can highlight the difference between our first and second application. And in the first, we did it wrong because we invited people outside the municipality to help us present the case, and in this last application we had the mayor because he's very involved in the strategy, and then we have different people working on different parts of our ecosystem innovation. For instance, we have someone from Startup Braga, someone from the culture sector, and also someone that is working out with our social innovation strategy. So the presentation was 4 people working in different fields, and then we have other people from the ecosystem, but that works on the projects that we showcased in the application. I think that is the best case, that use people that are involved deeply in your strategy and working within the city.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nuno. So we have 4 minutes left, so we will take the last 2 questions. So the next application, not the last 2, the last 3. So the next application possibility is in 2026. So it is now, actually. It is open. The call is open since the end of March, and it is open until the 18th of June. So there's a possibility to apply for this year's edition that is called 2026, because the award will be awarded in December 2025. But it is now, it is open now. So the next question is to do the cover page, table of contents, and I count within the 30-page limits. Yes. So it's really, you will have to upload your document, and actually the system, the IT system blocks at 30 pages. So if it's more than 30 pages, we will not see it. So I mean, the jury members will not see it. After 30 pages, it stops. But I would say regarding the page limits, you have to remember that, yeah, the jury members, they have to read all applications, and so you need to make your application impactful. It is really not about describing everything that you can within the 30 pages limit, but really to have a story behind it, and to explain that to the jury members that are evaluating your proposal. And the last question, so did Braga and Turin launch projects in order to win the award, to meet the award criteria? So Elena, you have 1 minute to answer, please.
No, if I understand the question, no, everything was in place. We try to describe it as much as possible.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nuno?
Yes, we also did not launch any project, so we just showcased the projects and the things that we were doing.
Thank you very much. So this is really a recognition award. So it's really about recognizing what has been put in place by the cities already. So with that, we close this info session. So I would like to thank you all for being with us today and for your active engagement through the questions in this info session. I would like to thank a lot our speakers, so Elena, Nuno, and Milu. Thank you very much for sharing with us your insights and your stories. And I would conclude with encouraging all city representatives that are here today to apply to this iCapital award. So I remember once again that the call for application is open. It is open until the 18th of June. And if you have any question, do not hesitate to contact us via email. We will be happy to answer any questions you might have. As I mentioned before, the recording and the presentations will be shared with you, and they will also be available on our website. Once we will close this WebEx, you will have a pop-up window that is a satisfaction survey. So if you have 1 minute to answer the satisfaction survey, that will really help us in trying to shape the best info session possible for the next edition of the prizes. So thank you once again for your time, for your ideas and your dedication to making innovation work for cities and citizens. We look forward to seeing your cities shine in this 2026 edition. Thank you very much.
Bye.